Hey guys, Lewis here, and in today's video I'm going to do a Rocket Languages review. So I'm going to review Rocket Languages, and the question I'm going to be answering is Rocket Languages actually worth it? Because you're going to have to pay some money. It is a paid service. Is it actually worth your money? Are you going to get to a conversationally fluent level with Rocket Languages, no matter what kind of language you're trying to learn? So the first thing I'm going to talk about right away is pricing. Well, before pricing, actually, I'm going to give you my verdict. I'm going to cut to the chase, and then I'm going to give you my detailed analysis of what I think about Rocket Languages, and I'm going to talk about pricing as well. So let me cut to the chase right away. I think that Rocket Languages is one of the best one of the best websites for learning languages out there. Now, the reason why I say this is because Rocket Languages is very comprehensive. There are lots of services, there are lots of apps that are very one-sided. They only focus on, I don't know, like drills or flashcards or audio. Rocket Languages has it all. It focuses on conversation, on grammar, on culture, on talking, on writing as well, especially if you're learning a language like Japanese or Chinese with a special and hard writing system. You're going to have lessons specifically targeted at the writing system. All right, so that's my overall opinion. By the way, I do have a link in the description if you want to have a discount for Rocket Languages. It is an affiliate link. Just want to be completely transparent with you guys. So if you end up purchasing a subscription for Rocket Languages, I do get a commission. Now, I would not recommend Rocket Languages if I didn't actually believe that it was a really, really good service. All right, so now I'm going to do a detailed analysis, a detailed breakdown of Rocket Languages. So I have the website here, and I'm going to start with pricing, by the way. So the pricing is this, and this is for Rocket Spanish, so it may be a little bit different depending on the language that you're learning, but for the most part, for most languages, it's going to be the same. So it's Rocket Spanish here. And once again, there is a link in the description so you can have a discount for Rocket Spanish or Rocket Languages in general. Doesn't matter what language you're trying to learn. So overall, the pricing is this, and in this video, I'm going to make the assumption that you're going to purchase the levels 1, 2, and 3, which is the entire program experience. Some people may choose to buy only level 1 or level 1 and 2, but for most people, and in this video, I'm going to talk about level 1, 2, and 3. So what kinds of results can you get with 1, 2, and 3? So these are the current prices. They may change over time, but for the most part, you can get discounts that are going to, diminish the price substantially. All right, so this is the pricing, and now I'm going to get into a breakdown of the features of the program. So this is Rocket Spanish here, but keep in mind that all programs are pretty much the same. They're organized in the same way. So Rocket Languages is organized in levels, and for most languages, you're going to have 3 levels. There are certain languages that only have 1 or 2 levels, but this is pretty rare. So most languages are going to have 3 levels, and each level is broken down into around 6 to 8 modules. It depends on the level. And inside those modules, I'm going to click on module 1 here, and this is Rocket Spanish just as an example. There are going to be lessons. So there are audio lessons. I like to call them interactive audio lessons. Then you have language and cultural lessons, which are kind of the textbook part of Rocket languages. And then, so for Rocket Spanish, that's it. But if you're taking like Rocket Japanese or Rocket Chinese, you're going to have writing lessons for the writing system, for Korean as well. But for Spanish, it's not really necessary. And by the way, there are writing lessons, but keep in mind that Rocket Languages has more of an emphasis on conversation rather than the written language. Now, with that being said, it's excellent for the written language as well, but there's definitely an emphasis on getting you to have conversations with people. I'm going to show you why. So in the lessons for Rocket Spanish, you're going to have 4, 5, 6 interactive audio lessons and about 4, usually it's 4 grammar lessons. I'm going to click on the first, or let's say the second audio lesson here. And as I said, the focus here is on getting you to have conversations with people in Spanish or whatever language you're trying to learn. So here, the lesson, this is an audio lesson. It's 25, usually it's around 30 minutes. So it's an audio track that lasts 30 minutes. It's a conversation between two people in whatever language it is that you're trying to learn, and you're going to have a host, an English speaker, who is going to give you hints and sort of tell you what's happening in the conversation. He's going to ask you to repeat things, ask you to answer questions in the language that you're trying to learn. Overall, it's very similar to Pimsleur, if you've ever tried Pimsleur. It's very similar to Pimsleur, with the main difference being, in my opinion, that here on the website and in the app also, I think, you have this widget here, Play It, which allows you to play the conversation. So you're going to be in the conversation as one of the characters, and you're going to have to actually speak, and your voice is going to be recorded, and your pronunciation is going to be graded. So let me give you an example here. I'm going to play the conversation as Mauricio.
Necesito ayuda.
¿Con qué?
Quiero algo para tomar.
¿Qué quieres? All right, so you get the point here.
Me gustaría.
I'm just going to stop this. But you get the point here. You're actually taking part in a conversation in real time. And this is really a unique feature. This is really something I haven't found anywhere else, to be honest. And this is really, really great because it simulates sort of a real-time conversation. It keeps you on your toes. And, when you're a beginner learning a language, you don't want to have like a native speaker right away, like having a conversation. This can be pretty intimidating, and there are lots of words that you don't know. With this, it's like simulating that conversation, but in a controlled environment, which I really like. All right, and now that's the interactive audio lesson, which you can listen to, offline using the app, or you can download the audio file here. And after the lesson, you also have supplementary activities, flashcards. Hear it, say it, write it, and so on, to sort of consolidate all the knowledge that you learned in the interactive audio lesson. I wouldn't say that it's necessarily like a mandatory that you do those activities, but it's really great so that you actually have this knowledge, like, in your long-term memory. Overall, one lesson, if you do the supplementary activities, it's gonna be about an hour. And so with the typical Rocket Languages program, which has 3 levels and 6 to 8 modules per level, on average, it's going to take you anywhere from 6 months to a year to complete if you do, one lesson or even half a lesson a day. So you're looking at a time investment of about 30 minutes to an hour. So I think 1 hour a day is pretty, it's a little bit too much for a lot of people who have, jobs and kids and stuff like that. So 30 minutes a day, I would say, is great, and you're going to be able to, complete the typical program in around a year if you're consistent. All right, so these are the interactive audio lessons. I would say that these are the main sort of the main lessons on Rocket Languages, but then you also have the language and cultural lessons. And these are definitely like, grammar lessons. The difference between a typical textbook is that the knowledge is a lot more summarized, it's a lot more condensed. So you're going to see, like this lesson, for example, the page may seem pretty long, but it's mostly because you have a lot of these, audio players embedded into the page. And again, you can record your voice, and they're going to grade your pronunciation. So that's why the page is that long, but actually there's not like so much text. So those these are grammar lessons, a lot more condensed. I think they do a very good job of, condensing the important information as opposed to, some textbooks where you have so much information and so many exercises. It's easy to get, to not complete the textbook, essentially. This is much smaller in scope. You also have some, cultural information, and this depends on the program that you're going to choose. So this one is about, this is Rocket Spanish. This is Latin American Spanish. So this is going to be about Latin American culture. This is fairly minimal compared with the, grammar sort of aspect of it, as it should be, in my opinion. So it's mostly grammar, and then there's a little bit of cultural information. And just like with the audio lessons, you're going to get supplementary activities like flashcards, and it's pretty much the same thing here, and to just consolidate what you learned in the lesson. All right, so this is basically it. These are the two types of lessons: audio lessons and grammar lessons. Again, if you're learning Japanese or Chinese or Korean, there are going to be writing lessons for the writing system, which you're going to have to spend time on. Now, I want to talk once again about the pricing. I have a link in the description. It is an affiliate link. You can click the link in the description, and you're going to get a discount for Rocket Languages for the 3 levels, if that's something that you would like to do. So that's pretty much it for this review. I hope that you liked it. If you have any comments, let them in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.